Hello everybody, welcome to Windlands developer video number 2. My name is Simo Sainio, the sound guy, and with me is Ilja Kivikangas, the main developer.
We are going to launch a Indiegogo campaign and also maybe trying to have some kind of pre-order or early access system in our own website. And just seeing how you react and what kind of actual audience there is and how much of an audience there is, and looking forward to hearing from you and what you're thinking and getting some feedback on that kind of side of things as well. As a disclaimer, all the graphics are temporary, and currently I'm just trying to show the gameplay and that more of the gameplay changes, and then I'll start working on the graphics and actual levels and level designs. So don't worry about that stuff. That will come later.
You've been doing a lot of work on the ropes, so maybe you'd like to talk about the changes.
Yeah, currently, instead of just having one rope, you actually have two simultaneous ropes. And
So that's one in left hand, one in right hand, right?
Yeah. Previously, you could adjust the length of the rope and kind of how much you were swinging with the right stick, but it was a bit confusing, and I don't think a lot of people actually caught on how to use that one. So currently, you shoot the longer version of the rope by pushing trigger, and you get the shorter version with the bumper. It's not just the length of the rope. With the bumper, it pulls you directly to and really close to wherever you grappled onto. I'm calling that more like a climbing rope, because that's the functionality.
Right.
You can really easily now use it, kind of get on top of things, especially because you have two of them.
Yes.
So you can just alternate them and climb pretty quickly and nicely. And the longer version works that it pulls you towards the target, but it doesn't pull you directly there. So it's kind of easier to swing with this one. And well, obviously I'm calling it the movement rope or the swinging rope. You can throw one of the ropes to something else and the other one to somewhere else, and you'll be dangling between those 2 points. And of course, if you are not confident on jumping to the empty void, you can just you keep yourself attached with the other one and just like try throwing the other to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then you release the other one when you're attached.
Attached to the next point. Yeah.
And it makes it easier and safer. Previously, when you had only one rope and you were trying to get hit a really small or really far away target,
it was a big risk, I think.
Yeah, it was also a lot harder. And now when you have two ropes, you have like double the chance of actually hitting. So yeah,
that's true too. Yeah.
Comparing to the older generation of the rope, it used to be like when you throw the rope, it actually pulls you to wherever you were shooting it. And people were falling off cliffs and all because the rope kind of pulled you there. And the new version doesn't do any of that. It's also more stable. It doesn't wobble all around the place as much as it used to be, especially when you're going high speeds.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I feel it's easier and better experience with that one.
That's like the basic set of ropes.
That's the default
set, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned that you have made like a hardcore mode for experienced players who are looking for a bit more challenge.
The very first version was a bit difficult, so I made it more easier for people and a bit more versatile maybe. But because of that, people were saying like now it's way too easy to get to all of the places because you can just pull yourself directly there. I personally I like the challenge. So for that reason, I have a second mode, which is the hardcore mode. In that one, you still have the short version of the rope, this climbing rope, but it doesn't work anymore for the tree trunks or wooden parts.
Right.
The previous ones, you could attach to leaves and grass
and the trees.
And the trees, so green and brown things mostly. The hardcore mode, you can only attach the short rope into foliage. The reason for that is so you couldn't just climb up the tree and get on top of it really easily. And then the longer version of the rope, it doesn't anymore pull you towards where you attached, and instead it just behaves like a swing experience. So you shoot it there, and at that point you can start swinging really freely.
So it's like a fixed length after that.
Yes,
right?
yeah, it stays as fixed length from the distance you shot it there.
Right. Yeah, and I've had a lot of good times with this new swinging rope, because this new one is different enough to kind of give me that sensation of danger and movement, and I can feel it in my stomach again when I'm using that. So it's really nice. It's very challenging to use, but it's also very rewarding when you finally nail that really dangerous swing. The shorter rope then is of lesser utility, I guess, or more limited use.
Yeah, and it's there for mainly because when you're swinging and you might hit something green and you just want to stick there and wall jump or do something else and just carry on that way. It's a small convenience thing. If you wouldn't have even that, then it would get really, really difficult.
A bit of life insurance there.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned that you did some tweaks to the way the ropes behave and pull the player so it retains your motion better.
The prototype version that's currently in share, if you throw the rope and it starts pulling you, it stops the momentum to other directions. Some people were saying like that's a bit bad thing. I agree, like it's better when you can actually have more of a proper swing. So the new rope, especially the hardcore swing rope and also the regular mode's swing rope, you can run forward and you jump and you throw the rope on the ground and you'll still have this nice arch.
So the next big thing, comfort mode. You went ahead and put it in the game, right?
It's one of those things that like I get really easily motion sickness. One of the main reasons for that, turning your screen without actually turning your head. So I tried this comfort mode. So the way it works is that instead of turning smoothly, it turns the view in 30-degree increments. And because it's an instant snappy turn, you won't feel any odd sensations doing that. It's very comfortable mode.
Yeah, this comfort mode has really made the game so much more approachable to me, because I used to have a headache after 10-15 minutes of playing previously, but now I can spend a lot of time in the game, like 30-40 minutes, and not be any worse of it. So it's really made a big difference for me, and I think a lot of people would agree. We also now have support for your average desktop display. That's something that some people were kind of interested in. I saw some YouTube comments about it.
There's people asking like could they play it without the Rift? They might be waiting for the Rift. The game is built for Rift. That's the main focus. Like,
we have to stress that.
But now it works also with the regular screens.
Another experiment that you've been working on was the support for Razer Hydra controllers. So how did it go?
Now when you have two different ropes, you would really enjoy shooting them in separate directions and having a lot better control overall. So I implemented the Razer Hydras there, and I tried it out. With Hydras, the problem is that the translation tracking, it's not 100% or one-to-one motion with the tracker.
Right.
I was hoping like I would implement a version where you don't really move the object that shoots the rope, but you're defining the direction with the Hydra. I tried it out and it was I have to say like
awkward silence.
Yeah, it's not good enough. You could kind of use that, but the whole idea is that you can blind shoot them, and it's not it's just not there. It's not accurate enough.
Sounds like we're not gonna see Razer Hydra support for the game.
It's a shame, but yeah, Razer Hydra is not enough. But I still have high hopes for the STEM and also Prio VR. I've kickstarted both of them, so I'll be getting them as soon as
they're available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll start trying out those ones and implementing them if they're actually a good experience.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for this dev vlog, and see you in the next one.
See you again.